Right, good evening. Welcome to the mayor and council meeting of Monday, May the 18th, 2026. A quorum is present. This time I'd like to ask Mr. Parker to lead us in the pledge.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council members, you have before you an agenda. I will entertain a motion. I have a motion. I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, at this time we have public commentary. Does anybody wish to come forward? Okay, all right, we will move on to proclamations. Okay. So this evening, this is always enjoyable to do, and appreciate the group from Historic Preservation being here tonight. Thank you all for coming. Often it's just one representative, so we have three tonight. Thank you guys for being here. All right, so council members, I know join me in our enthusiasm for everything that you, Joel, and your group are doing to beautify Dalton and Thornton Avenue and really to bring it back to its glory. So thank you for those efforts. So I'm going to have the council come down and join me to give this to you in a minute, but I will go ahead and read it from here. Got it here, right? So okay, well, we're going to do Historic Preservation Month first. Sorry, I've got these both sitting here. Let's see. So we'll do Preservation Month first. So, and then we'll do the award. So for Historic Preservation Month, so guys, I'll read it here and then I'll come down. Whereas the National Trust for Historic Preservation established May as Historic Preservation Month in 1973 to promote historic places for the purpose of instilling community pride, promoting heritage tourism, and showing the social and economic benefits of historic preservation. And whereas historic preservation helps maintain community character while enhancing livability and gives citizens a deeper understanding of their diverse heritage and a greater appreciation of our unique historic and natural resources. And whereas historic preservation is an effective tool to build awareness with the concerns of neighborhood history, the city's heritage, and the economic benefits realized by initiating improvements and restoring a community to a thriving condition. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Annalee Sams, Mayor of the City of Dalton, Georgia, hereby proclaim May 2026 as Historic Preservation Month and proudly recognize our local Historic Preservation Commission for their dedicated efforts so that historic resources in our city can be preserved for future generations. So Steve, do you want to come down and we'll give them this? Sorry? Okay, perfect.
Let me take this.
So we'll take this for Joel
Yes.
and do that one next. Okay, and do it separate? Does it have anything with it?
No.
Just this, okay, all right, okay, well, I'll just go on down at once and be efficient.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so we'll do the picture with guys, and then we'll do Joel's, you know. Yes, but then we'll go with Steve's got the award for, all right, so this year's recipient for the 2025 Outstanding Preservation Project is Joel Hudson and his team for his work there on Thornton Avenue. We're so pleased with everything that we're doing. It's our privilege and honor to share with the Historic Preservation Commission to give you this award. So you and your team want to come up and give this, we've got it. It's forgot this you're all here, but we want.
We want to give God glory. It's been just awesome to see something transform. And that's what we're seeing. We'll see transformation of lives. You know, and leading people to. But it's been great. We started on Falcon.
Okay.
And so, Lord willing, we'll be able to do the same.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. All right. Was David here for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that concludes our proclamations and presentations. Everything looks fantastic there on Thornton, and we appreciate the encouragement and the guidance that the commission gives to local property owners to revitalize their properties. Item number 3, staff reports.
There are none this evening, Madam Mayor.
Council members, you have before you minutes of the meeting of May 4th, 2026. I will entertain a motion. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Under unfinished business, this is the second reading of ordinance 26-06 to hear the request of Enrique Mendez Gomez to rezone from heavy manufacturing M2 to medium density single family residential R3, attractive land totaling 0.6 acres located on Dogwood Drive, Dalton, Georgia, parcel 12-216-01-008. Ethan?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. We have before us a pretty straightforward rezoning. What we have is a attractive land zone, heavy manufacturing, but it only consists of a little over half an acre in size. Again, it is vacant, zone heavy manufacturing, but adjacent to mostly residential property in this area, particularly along Dogwood Drive. So this rezoning would bring the subject property into conformity with the majority of this neighborhood and the surrounding area. And given that there really isn't any potential there for heavy manufacturing and shouldn't be any heavy manufacturing on this portion of the subject property. This petitioner's plans are simply to develop the subject property for residential use. And in terms of the proposed R3 zone district, that can only consist of a single family detached dwelling at 1 per lot. And based on the subject property size, it's unlikely that there would be any potential there to divide it and create more than 1 lot. With all that being said, the Planning Commission and the staff recommendation was to approve. Planning Commission was unanimous. There was no opposition to the rezoning at the public hearing. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Council members, any questions or comments on this item? All right, I have a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Ethan. Under new business, item number 6, Georgia Classic Main Street MOU for year 2026 through 2027. Candace?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This MOU renews the City of Dalton's partnership with the Georgia Classic Main Street Program for the 26-27 program year. The agreement outlines the responsibilities of the city, the Downtown Dalton Main Street Board, downtown manager, which is myself, and the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. And it just allows us to continue supporting downtown revitalization, economic development, historic preservation, and community engagement efforts. Renewal of this MOU allows downtown Dalton to continue its Main Street accreditation, in which we've held since 1981. So, and this is at no cost to the city.
All right, any questions or comments on this item?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, item number 7, appointment of Misty Wimpy as court administrator for Dalton Municipal Court.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is an exciting evening for one of our key staff members, Misty Wimpy. As you know, Jason James left in March to pursue a career in the private sector, and staff led by Halima, we immediately started the interview and selection process. This was a competitive process in which our internal candidate, the chief clerk, Misty Wimpy, shined, and we had a unanimous interview panel recommendation to name her a sole finalist. Just as a reminder, she served the city for 21 years and in the chief clerk role since 2017. She does carry numerous certifications, including a certified court administrator by the Georgia Municipal Court Clerks Council, as well as a certificate of court administration from the Georgia Council of Court Administrators. And so city administration presents Misty Wimpy for appointment in accordance with our charter, section 2.16. And I will note that we have advertised her name as the sole finalist for the 14-day period required by state law.
All right, any questions or comments on this item?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve Misty Wimpy as our new court administrator.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. We're so pleased to get to keep you and see you in this role. All right, item number 8, 6-month extension to allow availability of hangar grant funds through December 31, 2026. Andrew?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I have here a 6-month extension on the GDOT funding contract number 45 for the hangar expansion project. The project is complete, but we have about $116,000 left over in that grant contract. The Airport Authority would like the opportunity to spend on further improvements to hangars. The current contract will expire in June, and this will just extend it on through the end of December 31st of this year.
All right, are there any questions or comments on this item?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item number 9, 2025 budget amendment number 7, Cindy?
Good evening. This is our final budget amendment for 2025. We took a deep dive into this budget amendment and the mechanics of the TADs in our Finance Committee meeting. So at this time, if you have any further questions regarding this budget amendment, I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, any questions or comments on this item? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
A motion, have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item number 10, 2026 budget amendment number 2.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council, this is our second budget amendment for 2026. The impact of it will be to decrease the fund balance in our general fund by $817,000. The majority of this is our carryover grant matches for the airport and USDA and for the special election that we had. The second, the grant fund, we are getting almost $2 million in a grant award from the ARC for the East Moore Street project. So we'll be moving grant funds in there and then moving the grant funds back out to the SPLOST account, because that is where we're going to be accounting for that project. It's a approximately $4 million project. And then we are moving $40,000 from our CIP into 2020 SPLOST for public works equipment, and also an offsetting entry to reduce that amount in our CIP fund. We also have a carryover, 2 carryover airport grants, and then a grant that we've not yet started. The bids will be going out for those soon. So we have, we estimate federal grant funds, $990,341, state grant funds, $2,269,538, transfer from the general fund, $803, for total projects of $4,062,879. So we're increasing the grant budget by those funds and also the project cost.
All right, any questions or comments on this item? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion, I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 11, Resolution 26-15 to apply for and accept grant from USTA. Steve?
Good afternoon. As we were looking at our capital improvement, our tennis courts are going to need resurfacing. So we reached out to USTA and figured out and got some replies back from them that our project would fall under to be able to get funding. So I'm looking for approval to be able to apply for that grant in hopes that we get it, and would, again, it has a 50% match up to $8,000 per court for a total of $60,000. So that's what we would have to match if we were awarded it.
What do you anticipate the total cost of the project will be if?
That will be according to what we do and how many courts we do. I mean, with 20 courts, at this point, we have 6 that are in really bad shape that I feel like we need to look at a system that is an overlay system that hopefully it is yet to fail in the field. And I've personally seen courts that are over 10 years old with no cracks on them. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. But again, that's going to be just according to which way we go. So it could be that system is right around $20,000 per court. So if we looked at 6 courts, if we did those first 6, then it would be a total of 120. If we actually went ahead and did half the courts, then obviously you're looking a little bit more toward the 200. So.
All right, any questions or comments on this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion?
Okay.
Second? Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, there's no supplemental business before this body. In our announcement, city government offices will be closed Monday, May the 25th in observance of the Memorial Holiday, and would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the huge achievement of our Dalton High School boys soccer state championship win. We will properly and formally celebrate them at a later date, but we're all very excited as a community about that big win. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.